What's up, guys? It's Andrew Santowski. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween to you guys. I am doing predictions for UFC on ESPN Plus 40. Santos versus Teixeira. So we're going to go over the first fight of the night. We got late notice fight, Giga Chikadze against Jamey Simmons. Giga Chikadze coming off a nice win recently over Omar Morales. Great striker, trains out of Black House MMA. Man, he looked really good against Omar Morales in his last fight. Really good. 6-fight winning streak, undefeated in the UFC. This guy's looked awesome, man. He's looked really good. Just fought Omar Morales earlier this month, October 10th, on that Sanhagen Marias card. And he's going up against UFC newcomer Jamey Simmons, who's got a lot of first-round finishes. And I think this is a tough test for him to face a guy like Giga Chikadze in his UFC debut. And I'm going to go with Giga Chikadze by first-round knockout. I mean, Giga is a counter-striker. This guy's going to come forward. Jamey Simmons is going to come forward. And I just see Giga Chikadze getting him out of there at some point in the first round, if not in the second round. So my official pick is Giga Chikadze by first-round TKO. Second fight of the night, another late-notice fight. Raoni Barcelos against Khalid Taha. Khalid Taha was originally scheduled to fight Jack Shore. Jack Shore withdrew with injury. Raoni Barcelos, man, he's another guy undefeated in the UFC, man. Coming off a nice win last November of Saeed Nurmagomedov. Man, what can you say about that, man? Saeed Nurmagomedov, you guys already know how good he is. Raoni Barcelos, great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but the guy's falling in love with his hands. Great stand-up. Khalid Taha, another guy with heavy hands, man. He knocked out Boston Solomon. He submitted Bruno Silva last October. Even though Raoni Barcelos took the fight on late notice, I'm going to go with Barcelos by decision win. I just think he outstrikes Taha and picks up the win here. Next up, I'm going with the upset in this one, guys. Darren Elkins against Eduardo Garagori, the Argentinian. Darren Elkins, 5-fight losing streak, I believe. No, 4-fight losing streak. Lost a tough fight to Nate Landwehr last May. Guy was on a long winning streak for a while. 6-fight winning streak for a while until he lost to now champion Alexander Volkanovski. And no shame in that. Guy's been around a long time, man. A really long time. And, man, the guy has gotten better, man. He's reached a point that I never thought he would reach. I like Darren Elkins, man. But, you know, I think his time possibly may have come, man. And Edward Garagori, no, he's from Uruguay. He's not even from Argentina. Lost to Ricardo Ramos in his UFC, in his second UFC fight. Beat Humberto Banderas in his UFC debut. He was supposed to fight Mirsad Bektic in September. Garagori withdrew for some reason. Bektic ended up fighting man, what's his name? Bektic ended up fighting Damon Jackson, the guy that returned to the UFC and lost, man. Bektic was dominated in the fight. Ended up getting caught in a guillotine in the third round. But I think Garagori, man, I think he's going to come out. He's a striker. And I think he's just going to beat Darren Elkins, man. I think he can knock out Darren Elkins or pick up a decision win here, man. Darren Elkins, man, he's at the tail end of his career. Don't really know what to expect from the guy. Still trains at Team Alpha Male, good camp, but man, he's taking a lot of damage, man. He's lived up to his nickname, Damage. He's taking a lot of damage. I'm gonna go with plus 170 2 underdog Edward Garagori. That's my pick. Next up, Gustavo Lopez against Felipe. Colares took a beating against Montel Jackson. Came back, had a strong third round, still ends up losing. Great jiu-jitsu game. Going against Gustavo Lopez. Lost his UFC debut to Merab Dvalishvili. No shame in that. We know how good Merab is. I'm going to go with the underdog here. I'm going to go with Colares. He is sitting around a plus 120 underdog. From a betting perspective, two guys that I think are closely matched. I'm going to side with the underdog, Colares, to pick up the win here by decision. Next up, Max Griffin against Ramiz Brahimaj. Griffin, man, a lot of tough losses, man. A lot of split decision losses. He's 1-4 in his last 5 UFC fights. All his losses coming by decision. His one win against the guy that they cut from the UFC, Salim Imadimov. Ramiz Brahimaj trains out of Fortis MMA. He's a ground fighter. And you know what? He was supposed to make his UFC debut back in June against Miguel Baeza. Then he was supposed to fight Takashi Sato for whatever reasons. I'm not sure why those fights got canceled. But I'm going to go with the UFC newcomer here, man. I don't know how bad Max Griffin wants it. Max Griffin's taking a lot of damage. He's fought a who's who, really. I'm going to go with the newcomer, Ramiz Brahimaj, by first round submission. I think maybe he can drag Griffin down and lock up a submission at some point. But Griffin hasn't been submitted in his UFC career, so that might be a tall tale to do. But I'm going to go with the UFC newcomer here, man. Just don't know where Max Payne Griffin is mentally and just physical-wise, man. Like I said, he's been around a while. He's not on a good streak. He's 1-4 in his last 5. I'm going to go with the UFC newcomer, who's currently a plus 135 underdog and bookmaker. Next up, Trevin Giles against Bevon Lewis. This is a pick'em fight, guys. I think Trevin Giles actually opened the favorite up on BetOnline. Bevon Lewis had a lot of hype behind him. Before he came into the UFC career, he was a known training partner of John Jones. He's picking up a nice win over the guy they just cut, Daquan Townsend, who everybody in the UFC beat. Trevin Giles, man, nice. He's coming off a split decision win over, split decision win over James Krause. He's been around the UFC for a little bit, some comeback wins. I'm going to pick Bevon Lewis, man, in a fight that's kind of dull. But I think Lewis just outstrikes him, man, to a decision win in kind of a lackluster fight. So my pick is Lewis. Marcus Rogerio de Lima against Alexander Romanov. Well, we've seen Alexander Romanov had some serious takedowns. Rogerio de Lima, former light heavyweight, fighting at heavyweight now. I'm actually going to take De Lima here by first round knockout. No confidence in this pick, man. He's a plus 228 underdog. I think Romanov eventually gets exposed, man. So my pick is De Lima. But if De Lima gets taken down, it'll probably be a wrap at some point. And that's a high possibility. But I'm going to go with Rogerio de Lima by first round knockout. Next up, Andrei Arlovski against Tanner Boser. Man, Andrei Arlovski, man, what a career resurgence this guy has had, man. He's coming off a nice win over Felipe Lins, the former Bellator and World Series of Fighting fighter who moved up to heavyweight. He lost to Jairzinho Rosenstreich by first round knockout last November, coming off a win over Ben Rothwell before that. Lost to Augusto Sakai in a controversial split decision loss. In April 2019. But Andrei Arlovski, man, this guy was dead to rights in his UFC career about 2015, 2016, man. And, he went on a 5-fight losing streak until eventually breaking it against Junior Albini in November 2017. And, yeah, man, he's been hanging tough, man. 41-year-old heavyweight, man. We know heavyweights can go a little longer in their career, being older. But Tanner Boser, man, a guy that's really found his own. He is very fast as a heavyweight, and he has heavy hands, man. He's coming off a nice knockout win over Rafael Pessoa. And before that, a knockout of Felipe Lins. He lost by decision to Cyril Gane. No shame in that. But I'm going to go with Tanner Boser here by first or second round TKO. Get the job done. Next up, we have Claudio Godella against Jan Jonen. Man, I'm really high on Jan, man. Godella, she just doesn't look right. I don't know what it's a USADA issue or what, but she just hasn't looked right since her second fight against Joanna. And, you know, coming off a controversial win, in my opinion, to Angela Hill. She just doesn't look like the same fighter, man. She looks a little thicker, a little bigger. Jan Jonen, man, my God, she's an amazing fighter. Great Sandu fighter. Undefeated in her UFC career, man. She just keeps getting better and better, man. Now I'm going to go with Jan Jonen by unanimous decision here. I believe this is the co-main event, guys. Ian Heinisch against Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's been calling out Heinisch. Brendan Allen took some damage against Kyle Dalkus in the third round of his last fight. I believe he had some type of jaw injury or facial injury in that fight. Young guy, great submission guy. I'm going to pick Ian Heinisch here, man. I think Ian Heinisch is motivated. Coming off a nice knockout of Gerald Meerschaert back in June, but we've seen Gerald Meerschaert get starched by Chimaev too. Kazmat Chimaev in his last fight as well. So, but I think Heinisch is motivated, man. Don't really know where the guy's training for this fight, but it's a closely matched fight, man. I think Heinisch is a little more well-rounded, better stand-up. And I think he's going to really punish Brendan Allen in the stand-up. And just, like I said, it's a personal fight for both these guys. So I'm going to go with Heinisch by decision. Main event, Glover Teixeira against Thiago Santos. Glover, the ageless wonder, man. Coming off a nice TKO win of Anthony Smith. I believe Smith got TKO'd in the 5th round of that fight. We'll check. Yep. In a fight that he came back and won. Thiago Santos, he's been off with a knee injury and various injuries since his loss to John Jones at UFC 239 in the championship fight. The guy has been chinny, man. He got knocked out by David Branch in April 2018. He was still fighting at middleweight at the time, though. Undefeated at light heavyweight outside of the John Jones fight. But, man, I'm going to go with Glover here, man. I think that, you know, even though Glover's 41 or 42, Thiago Santos is 36, man. Coming off an injury. We don't know what his cardio is going to be like. You know, like I said, he has been chinny in the past. Glover has heavy hands and a great submission game. And if you don't put Glover out early, Glover's going to come storming back. So my official pick for this fight, I'm going with the plus 180 underdog, Glover Teixeira for a 3rd round submission. Those are my picks, guys. Hope you guys are watching this Anderson Silva versus Uriah Hall card. That's going on right now. And next Saturday, November 7th, UFC on ESPN 40. UFC on ESPN Plus 40 goes down. Glover Teixeira against Thiago Santos. Hope you guys watch and enjoy these picks. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.